Hello folks, and welcome back here to Gatekeeper Media as we bring you our coverage of the Dynamic Disc Open out in Emporia, Kansas, and we are now in our final round at the Emporia Country Club after a couple of rounds at Jones Park and one round already here. Once again, a special shout out goes to all of our Patreon supporters who help make this coverage possible. I am Dustin Mouret, and I'm bringing you the commentary once more here solo as we wrap up this Elite Series stop here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. As we come into our final round, this is our chase card. GT Hancock at 5th, Simon Lizotte, Gannon Buhr tied for 6th, and then Jeremy Koling rounds out our card. As you can see, we have Jake Hebenheimer, who was on our card yesterday, made it up into the lead card with Ricky Wysocki, Brody Smith, and Logan Harpool. And so they're kind of the front runners, but it's very tight after Ricky Wysocki as far as strokes goes. We look at GT Hancock, sponsored by Prodigy. So putting the PA3s, you know, typical A-Series disc for approaches, has the reverb, several D2s that he'll cycle through as well as the foul core. And so kind of just the stuff you'd expect. Then we got Simon Lizotte back, again known for putting his P2s. Obviously going to be known for throwing the DD3s and the PD2s for distance, but also known for his FDs, but in particular Elsa, which people will probably have seen that disc either on his YouTube channel or in other parts of coverage. I always like to shout that out. Then we got Gannon Buhr, another Prodigy player, also puts the PA3s, known for its M2 for his mid-range shots, but also throws a lot of D1s, D2s, has the foul core in the bag. A lot of standard Prodigy molds you'd expect. Then we got Jeremy Koling. Actually putts with the Firefly now. Used to put something else in the past, I feel like. Known for his mortar for mid-ranges as well as the AVR X3, but also really known for the Thunderbird, obviously. But throw the Boss for distance, as well as, of course, some Destroyers in race. As we get into it, hole one's going to be the 1,224-foot par 5, long, narrow fairway, a pocket of OB there on the left as you get towards the end, and then another OB bunker just in front of the basket to add a little bit of difficulty on your final approach.
2:34 tee time, our MPO chase card. Teeing off first from Bedford, Texas, sponsored by Prodigy, GT Hancock.
Yeah, of course, GT, like you said, out of Texas, has 48 PDGA sanctioned MPO wins at various B and C tier events dating back to 2016. Also, this year he placed 11th at Texas State's and 35th at Belton. So definitely a guy that knows how to win. Has had some good results already on tour. And that's a little turned over. Does stay in bounds, though, near that roadside, but will be cut off.
From Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, sponsored by Discmania, the 2014 Dynamic Disc Open champion, Simon Lizotte.
And, of course, Simon, we saw him earlier on chase card coverage this tournament. Obviously had a 6th-place finish at Jonesboro earlier this year to get his season started. Several top 10 finishes last year, 17th at Worlds, and ranked near the top 15 in the UDisc World Rankings. And he can rip. We all know that. That's a great pushing hyzer well down the fairway to get him started.
From Urbandale, Iowa, sponsored by Prodigy, Gannon Buhr.
And yeah, it's our 2021 Rookie of the Year thanks to multiple top 15 finishes last year, as well as top 5 at the Preserve and the DGPT finale. Obviously had that 2nd-place finish at Las Vegas earlier this year in that thrilling playoff against Drew Gibson. He's placed top in the top 5 at Tallahassee and Champions Cup and Jonesboro, and 7th Texas State's, 9th in our UDisc World Rankings. A little Space Jam for you, and he has jammed that disc well down the fairway.
And from Charlotte, North Carolina, sponsored by Innova, the 2016 United States Disc Golf Champion, Jeremy Koling.
And a man that really needs no introduction in disc golf, but we all know and love him. A big personality, a great commentator, and a great disc golfer. Came 6th at Texas State earlier this year, 34th at LBC and Champions Cup. Last year placed at top 25 at USDGC, and he has a former USDGC champion, several top 20 finishes last year as well on tour. And he stops himself, didn't like that. And we have to say it, because we always do, a good stop for Jeremy Koling. Obviously known for his crafty forehands, but definitely a guy who can still boom one out there on a backhand. Some sneaky backhand distance, I feel like, and he has made that very apparent with that drive. And yeah, this is what GT's left with. I mean, he's in a tricky spot where it's going to be hard to get a lot of forward progress, and he has to go for kind of a flexing forehand here to get around this bush area. So that angle kind of cuts him off from getting as forward as he would have liked, but he's able to get himself back into the center of the fairway and still has some shots to spare to get up to the green. So we now make it here to Gannon Buhr. He tests that road on the right-hand side, but throws a strike down the fairway and doing well. So you get to Simon Lizotte. Very pretty shot from him as well. And it's worth noting is this is the best weather conditions we've had all weekend for DDO. The wind is much more down than it has been the last couple of days. So scoring conditions are certainly better. Jeremy Koling throws a beautiful shot down the fairway. Gets way on down there. A very easy approach to get his birdie. As, yeah, the day before this at the country club, we had, I think, 25-mile-per-hour sustained winds and 35-mile-per-hour gusts. This day was a lot better. I think it was kind of more in that maybe 10 to 15-mile-per-hour range, so a lot more standard. GT throwing three, trying to see if he can still maybe get up and down for this birdie somehow. Booms it down there. There might be a little something there. Looks like he made it over the OB green. Gets the green flag. Not sure if he was just before it or just after it. Now we get up to Gannon Buhr here, looking to approach for his birdie. Has a look at the basket. Good spiking highs there. Kind of gets caught up on this one tree. So might have an obstructed putt, but does get up to the dance floor. A little shout to Terry Miller on that one. An easy chip shot approach there from Simon Lizotte to get up and down for his birdie attempt. And here's what Jeremy's left with. It's a little jumper bid, and almost had a chance there. Lands up nicely, though, next to the pin. Step butt here for GT. Definitely was short of that OB green, so we'll be settling for par. Again, Jeremy, basically had an eagle jump putt bid there. So he'll be able to get his birdie no problem after laying up next to the pin. And this is Simon for birdie now, just inside the circle. And tosses it in. Gets his birdie to kick things off. As while Ricky has, I believe, a 4-stroke lead coming into the day, it's very tight after that. I think it's 1 under par as second place. So, I mean, just a couple of strokes separating our players right now. As Gannon punches one in from down low. This was playing much easier on this day as many holes where it was actually playing 0.24 strokes under par with 40% of the field finding the birdie, so much better course stats than the previous day. As GT will tap in his par, and Jeremy right there to drop in the birdie. Now we get the hole 2, 745, par 4. OB on the left is the main obstacle to avoid off the tee. That's why you see a lot of forehands from right-handed players just to kind of swing over that. But the backhand turnover is there. The right side very congested, though, so kind of have to play out to this left-hand side of this row of trees. So there is Simon with the big turnover. Gets caught up a little bit there. Still stays in bounds, still gets up there, still could have a chance to approach for birdie. And Gannon does go forehand, swinging it out wide. Plenty of stability to the fight back into the fairway. That's good positioning for his next shot. Just a laser beam forehand here from Jeremy Koling. Gets a good way up there. On a rope the whole time and well in bounds. It looks like GT's going for the backhand as well. Going for that turnover line as well, but maybe a little too inside. Yeah, going to get caught up. And actually just behind the tree. That could be a very tricky situation. Looks like he's got a little bit of space to work with here. I mean, I feel like that's about as good as he could have done from where he was. Very tricky situation. Gets up near circle 2, but still quite a ways from the basket. Likely pitching up for par. See what Jeremy can do here. Looking for another forehand. Left side certainly more open on this fairway. So it really does play for the double forehand if you've got it.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's turned that way over, and he knows it right away. Can that stable up, though, and skip back in? It's the question. It's looking close. And he gets a little bit of a roll as well. Got away with one there. So now here comes Gannon Buhr. Looking to throw another forehand here. He knows that he's put it a little high. Nose angle not quite right. It's going to short his distance. Center cut, but out of putting range, really. But may have a chance to give it a slight bid. And even though he caught a tree, Simon still got the furthest off the box. Plays the big hyzer outright. A little short there, but makes it up that way. GT does try to give it a little bit of a bid there, but we'll have to settle for par. Now we see Gannon Buhr. Putting from a knee. Gives it a little soft bid, but nestling up there for par. Now here's Simon. Outside circle 1, but still with the chance here. Just not quite high enough. Maybe thinking the wind would rise the putt a bit. Koling is a similar distance away. Just a little right. And gets a nasty roll as well. Luckily, it cuts kind of back in towards the basket at the very end. So it looks like everyone's here going to be settling for some pars. Unfortunately, low, though, from Koling. That will be the bogey instead. As this was playing .12 strokes under par with 30% of the field finding the birdie. GT able to knock in the par there, and Gannon and Simon right near the pin should be able to do the same. problem. So we now had the hole 3, a 466-foot par 3. You could go straight to the middle gap that we just flew through, or there is the wide left forehand that some right-handed players like to go for. Avoid having to play the gap up the center. Trying to let them go down the middle, but is a little too high. Gets caught up. We'll have to settle for par. This is one of the more difficult holes on the course. Played as top 5 in difficulty on the day, so certainly no gimme, as Gannon again lining up the forehand as he did the previous day. Definitely means you have to add a little bit more distance to your throw to get there with the forehand, as it's a wider line, but it does play downhill, so that helps. Yeah, as Gannon says, a little short there on that forehand, but maybe has an outside chance. GT gets it a good pull, but it still will find itself short of the circle there. Jeremy going to the same disc here that we've seen in a couple of holes, I believe, or it looks the same. And that looks really good out the hand.
No.
It's a little bit of a skip and roll towards that right side OB, but does stay in bounds, but yeah, still short of really having a birdie look. It's only 12% of the field was finding the birdie. That amounted to 6 players in the field. Simon trying to give it a little bit of a run. Looked good for a bit there, but we'll be settling for the par. Did nestle up close to the basket, though, so a pretty easy putt. Well, GT was trying to give that a little bit of a chance, but Izer's out and is deep, and let's see what Jeremy can do here. A little Annie putt. Just kind of holds that angle. Now here's Gannon just outside circle 2. Just puts it a little too outside. Won't really be able to hyzer that one in, and so par's a plenty for the card, it looks like. But not gimme putts by any means, especially GT here. He's got a little bit of a tester ahead of him. No problem, though. Right in the heart of the chains, keeping his round at even. Keeping that card clean as we see Gannon step up looking to do the same. And that'll do. Koling and Simon right here looking to join the pack. Some tap-ins. So we'll get the star par here on hole 3. So we're getting our front 9 underway. Take a short break, though, before we come back with the rest.
I'm Garrett Girthy. People know me as Double G. I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
When I have Double G's craft jerky and I pull it out of my bag during a round, the first thing anyone asks is that Double G's craft jerky? And I always bring the big bag because I know I'm gonna have to share it.
I'm a big fan of beef jerky, and I have to say that Double G beef jerky is absolutely my favorite I've ever found.
I'm always looking forward to digging my hand in my next bag of Double G craft jerky.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
And all right, folks, we're now at the hole 4. One of the biggest changes to the course. The pin used to be off there to the left in that cluster of trees, but now the pin has been pushed back into the right, so now 598 feet. And instead of trying to hyzer one in short of that OB patch in the center at the end of the fairway, you're trying to play a big turnover over the top of it. So a very difficult hole now at this change. Simon talking to his caddy a little bit there. Actually did put out a vlog talking about his caddy, so might want to go check that out on his channel. And that thing is just holding the turn. It is not really coming out. Looks like it stayed in bounds, though. There is some OB on that right-hand rough. The main OB you have to worry about, though, is that center patch. It looks like he's avoided that. But yeah, it's a really big shot, even with it being downhill, especially with any kind of wind that you have to try to judge. This looks good out of Gannon, but doesn't have the height to fight out. And it's not quite high enough. But plays it safe, stays away from that OB patch for sure. GT's is fighting out here, but will it find that center patch of OB? Ah, just short of it. This is a very difficult hole to birdie. Good shot there from Jeremy Koling. Known for his forehand, but really does put a lot of power behind the backhand. Not known for it, but I feel like more often than not, he can really boom one down there. Definitely has that over 500 feet of distance when he needs it. Gannon up first to approach. As this hole really feels like kind of one of those tweener holes. Like it's probably not quite far enough to really be a par 4. But in this new pin position, it is a very hard birdie. We're just looking at everyone just trying to get up and down for par at this point. So far, so good from the card. And Jeremy actually kind of has a little bit of a look here. Trying to put his jumper down there, but that'll hyzer out. Yeah, just been kind of giving it a soft bid, to be honest. As I can tell you this hole on the day played as the second most difficult at 0.32 strokes over par. Not a single person in the field birdied this hole on our final round. And I can also tell you that only one person birdied it yesterday. So only one birdie from MPO in 2 days of play on this hole, and that was an 150-foot throw-in from John Willis. So, yeah, just definitely kind of right on the fringe of being scoreable, honestly. Yeah, it was a big change to this front nine for MPO and definitely showing its teeth. All right, so we head over to hole 5, a 675-foot par 4. A fairway that narrows the closer you get to the pin. Definitely a very tricky hole to stay in bounds on at times. Simon puts one right up the middle. As that car path he flew over in the center is not OB, but there is certainly OB all along the left and right-hand side. Gannon playing the hyzer outright. Well in bounds. Get a little bit of a look at the crowd that was following our chase card. Definitely a good amount of people showing their support, as Emporia is certainly a city that really embraces disc golf. GT, nice low turning shot that gets the fade it needs at the end. Getting it towards the dead center of the fairway. Well done. So people say there's really very few patches of grass you can find in Emporia without a basket on it. And of course, we will be coming back to these courses for the World Championship later this year. Once again, fantastic stop from Jeremy Koling. Just one of the best stops I've ever seen, really. In jest, of course. Love Jeremy Koling. Maybe he'll appreciate that. As again, I feel like every stop's a good stop in disc golf. So we are going to see a great forehand come out there. Right-hand side of the fairway, sets him up nicely. Big swinging hyzer here. And that is well done from Jeremy Koling. Right near the bullseye. As being over on that right-hand side really sets up for that spiking hyzer. You have to contend with the trees a little bit more the more center cut you are. Which means you have to push the distance a little bit more. And that's just low out of Gannon's hands and just dug. Got no ground action out of that. He's very disappointed. GT playing the lower hyzer out wide. Gets some great skips. Well in the circle. Don't see him forehand too often, but does have it in his arsenal now after dealing with injury last year. Able to get that recovery. Swings this one out left, and yep, that's well done. Gannon will get up there no problem for his pars. This did play as the second easiest hole on the day. It played 0.3 strokes under par with 42% of the field finding the birdie. Oh. We looked a little wide there from GT. So no birdie for Mr. Hancock. We'll have to take the par here. Same as Gannon, who's now up to putt. That will do just fine. Meanwhile, Simon and Koling have a great look for birdie here. This would put Koling at 1 under on the round at this point. It's in that tie for 8th. Simon's in the top 4 at this point, trying to make a little bit of a move here for the chase card. With that birdie now actually tied for 3rd. So putting himself in podium contention. We can keep up this pace. GT will come in to tap in a par. A little frustrated with that after a great tee shot and approach. So lots of golf to play here as we get the hole 6, a 339-foot par 3. A little bit of a set of guardian trees surrounding the circle. Right up near the pin. Other than that, a pretty routine shot. Definitely one of the easier ones on the course. One you really want to get.
That's the wide. Come on. Slow down. Slow down.
Unfortunately, it will not ease on down. It will skip deep OB. Going to have a tricky potential putt to save his par down there, but I'm not really sure what kind of look he's going to have. Gannon will take one there. I think that maybe just got on the front side of circle one. Perfect shot there from GT Hancock, right near the bullseye. And yeah, let's see what Jeremy's got here. Maybe potential to save par. Oh, just a little low. Had the right line. Was certainly nearby, but now we'll have to settle for the 4. This is Gannon for birdie. And we'll find it. Nice putt there from Gannon Buhr. Puts him 2 under on the round and puts him in that tie for 5th place. Here's Simon for his birdie as he already sits in a tie for the podium, so just trying to maintain that pace. And that'll do. That'll keep him in that tie. 3 under on the round. As this did play as the easiest hole of the day, 0.32 strokes under par with nearly half the field finding the birdie at 46%. As we have 3 birdies on our card. Koling's OB leading to a bogey. We'll be back after a break.
Focus. Get rid of any of those pressure thoughts and really center yourself, like where you're at and the shot you're throwing. Trying to just really let everything besides the basket bleed away.
Now we get to hole 7, the 678-foot par 4 does play as one of those holes where, you know, you got the elevated pin to worry about, but it's pretty routine. Right side's usually a little bit more open. Definitely one of the more congested fairways as far as how much tree cover there is along the way. Can choose to go up the center of this tight gap right off the tee or play wide right. I've seen a few players do. But, of course, Simon will just go straight up the gut.
Nice shot, Simon.
Man, that's really well done. He's really just continuing with that first gap off the tee. And going from there. The issue is you somehow catch one of these trees off the tee, you are OB and go into a drop zone. And that will find the OB. But that did cross safe, so you would not have to go to the drop zone. Any shot that never crossed safe off the tee would have to go to a DZ, though. With this, it being an island tee, I guess you could say. And a good shot there from GT. No complaints on that one, I'm sure. And it looks like Jeremy is going for the wide right approach. At least that's how he's lining up, it looks like. Yep. Wide spike hyzer. Yeah, that'll stab in there nicely.
Dude, this footing sucks so bad.
And Gannon not really liking his footing. Didn't feel like he could really get as much power behind it as he wanted, I suppose. And gets up near pin high, doesn't really hyzer in the way he wanted. And even Jeremy Koling here has like kind of a downhill walk up to his shot, which might add a little bit of complication to it. But that's a great throw.
Yep.
Oh, that tree. That was looking like it was skipping in behind the basket and still within circle one. Maybe juiced it a little bit. But that tree kick and roll was going to make that one much tougher. GT trying to hyzer one through this row of trees on the left-hand side himself, and that'll do. Get up to Simon here. It's like an FD in hand, just based on that Elsa stamp on it. Trying to float one up there. Right near the edge of circle one. A little deep. This is a long putt here for Gannon. Try to save par, I believe. That's going to hit the right side, though, and that's going to take a nasty roll. Pushes him outside circle one for the bogey save, so maybe looking at a double here.
Thank you.
So now Jeremy up for his putt here for birdie. Floats it in, though. What a putt for Koling outside the circle. And the elevated pin, we're going to rewind that back and give it the credit it deserves. What a beautiful putt. Floats it up there, hyzers it in perfectly with the stability of the disc, and just settles dead center. Going to keep him in that tie for 8th place. Keep him in that top 10 running. Again, looking for a bit of a stepper here, see if he can at least salvage a 5 out of this. Not quite enough height.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm just circled it.
So now here's GT outside the circle himself. But what a putt in his own right. Puts that one in there, and we get another rewind on this hole. Another fantastic putt outside the circle for birdie, matching Jeremy Koling. Stroke for stroke there. Actually now keeps him in that tie for 3rd place. 2 birdies in a row. Now it's Simon Lizotte's turn. And that is just off target. Chance to maybe put him in a tie towards 2nd place. He's already sitting in 3rd, and now he needs this putt to stay there. That one will hit the right side for par. Keeps him tied up with GT Hancock for 3rd. Gannon taking the 6. Takes the double there. So we are going to get to hole 8 at 994-foot par 5. You're just trying to get as much as you can off the tee and then settle up for your approach shot. There is a couple of trees towards the end of the fairway, giving you a little bit of an obstacle to deal with. as you approach the green. But it's just about staying straight and staying in bounds. Unfortunately, that has drifted too far left. Koling putting that out nice and wide to spike it in the fairway and stays safe there over towards that left-hand side. Nice slow turning shot here from Simon Lizotte that's getting stable right towards the end, and that is perfect. About as center cut as it gets. And again, I feel like Simon almost just has perfect backhand form. You know, just so smooth, never really looks like he's trying too hard. Just butter. Definitely a guy to look at when you're learning to throw. Gannon not looking to bite off too much off the tee, just wanting to stay in bounds and maybe set up a bigger second shot. I'm going to play the forehand out the left-hand side. And that'll fight back just fine. Puts him in really good position. So the left-hand side of the fairway is certainly the more open side, but as you get further up the fairway, that water OB left does come more and more into play. As this kind of fairway starts to narrow towards the end. Forehand here as well from GT. That will stay in bounds. Chance maybe to still save his par at that point. We're going to see Thumber from Koling. Over the top. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's going to give him a nice little pitch up to get his birdie. That was beautiful. Definitely one of the few players that really has that weapon in his bag on tour. Beautiful backhand here from Simon Lizotte. Puts himself as well in good position to approach for his birdie. It's the approach that Gannon has. And that'll do just fine. Right near the bullseye for his birdie putt. This was kind of playing middle of the table in difficulty. Just barely under par, 0.08. It's GT Hancock. Gets up there nicely to salvage something on this hole despite the early OB off the tee. Just a jump putt approach for Koling to get up there for birdie. Is he looking for more? Kind of gives it a soft bid. But making sure that he gets in safe position for his birdie putt. Simon looking for glory. And almost finds it. Just a little wide right. But again, no harm, no foul. Still has a solid birdie putt ahead of him. That'll do. 3 for 4. And now solo third. Koling will put it in. He's also 3 for 4. Now tied for 7th. Gannon drops his in, keeping himself in that tie right next to Koling. GT will get the par save. So well done for him. So we now get to our final hole, the front 9, a much different looking hole as you got to push very forward off the tee, but stay away from that OB left-hand side. If you can get out to the right a little bit, that's great because you have a huge dog leg right to approach the green. 719 feet. Very difficult par 4. Koling going forehand off the tee, trying to push it for some distance with the flex. A flip up. And yeah, that gets up there and gets that right movement. Simon just looking to push something as straight as he can off the tee. That is unfortunate, though. Gets a little bit too much push. That's why you really need something that kind of fights towards the right. That's why the forehand usually is a safer play, but might just mean that you don't get as much distance. As Gannon swings that out wide, and that is short. As it is kind of an island tee, so to speak. So that we'll go to a drop zone. Slow turning back in here from GT Hancock looks pretty good. I don't know. That's actually rough terrain over there. Not sure what he's going to have, as we are going to see drop zone here for Simon. Looking for big sky turnover. Oh, my goodness. He pushed that one. What a shot from Simon Lizotte. That is a potential par save now. You almost never see someone saving par from this drop zone. And he has a chance to do it. Now here's Gannon from the drop zone. Looking to do something similar here. That's looking also fantastic. Yeah, that gets down there a ways. Heiser's out a little bit sooner than Simons did, so not kind of sure what lie he'll have, but did what he could. And, yeah, this is definitely tricky footing for Hancock. And that actually goes OB. That is unfortunate. Jeremy Koling playing the big backhand turnover himself. Catches one early. Still a good shot, though, all things considered. Actually not sure. From that camera angle, I can't really tell. Maybe he does have a putt at it. We're seeing GT get one there on the green for sure. And let's see what Coling's got here. Oh, yeah, he's got to look at it. Just kind of swings a little wide right. This is Gannon. It's a safe par, I believe. And he does it. Now, if that's where he was, then Simon must have really pulled something off. Oh, yeah. Definitely going to be able to have a good look at saving par from there. I mean, just beautiful work from Gannon and Simon to put themselves in position to save par from the drop zone. Oh, it's high, though, from Simon. And so it's going to be a 5. Still keeping himself, though, near that podium. In fact, I think he still is solo third even after that. As this did play as the third most difficult hole on the day, 0.28 strokes over par. Only 14% of the field found the birdie, which amounted to essentially 7 players. Now, a lot of those were circle 2 putts. GT will have to settle for a single. Koling, too, will be looking to take a par here to match up with Gannon. And so that's going to do it here for our front 9 of our final round with our chase card at the Emporia Country Club. You can see Simon now in solo third, GT Hancock tied for 4th, and Koling and Gannon Buhr tied for 7th. So still a chance to make some moves and try to get a good finish here out in Emporia. As we are seeing, Ricky Wysocki is just kind of running away with it right now so far at 10 under, 7 strokes ahead of the next best person. That Logan Harpool at 3 under. And thank you so much for tuning into this front nine of our final round here. I hope that you'll join us on the back nine. Special shout out, of course, to our Patreon supporters who help make this all possible. And if you'd like to give the commentator a follow, that's me, Dustin Mouret. You can follow me on Instagram at FollowDust. You can also follow me on YouTube at DustinDisc. And I hope that I'll see you on the back nine. I know that I'll be there and I'll be enjoying myself, and I hope that you will too. So stay tuned and catch you soon.